People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This is an update about the SSL, Usain Bolt, FSC, Finance Minister, Government of Jamaica. One of the worst scandals in the history of Jamaica. I am going to let you know exactly what is going on. Other findings. Is the FBI in? Is the FBI out? They are actually in. Now the latest update is that we see that the Ministry of Finance, they had some sorts of 2-day forum about 24 to 48 hours ago, and he gave some updates. He said that the top management, middle management, bosses of SSL, its auditors, they have some very important questions to answer. And when he says questions, meaning that they did an audit back in 2020. In that audit, that was done by an external company. It went over the assets. It went over the liabilities. It went over the cash that is in hand. How financially viable this company is. It said that the liabilities, expenses were at $34 billion. The cash, the assets were at $34 billion. So therefore, I am not a financial wizard. Them claims say everything looks in order. It was an external company. However, people, their findings was not accurate. So pretty much they were in the pockets of the top people, the Cross-Kerry and the Harding. Whoever was managing the company at the time pretty much paid them to lie to the FSC, which told the company, listen, you need to give us a report of exactly what is going on, so therefore we can know exactly where to go and what to do and what not to do. They threw the company off. Sorry. Now, as it pertains to Jean Ann Panton and SSL, we heard the finance minister come out the other day and said that they had information, intelligence that SSL was trying to wind up the company, meaning dissolve the company, close down the company, shut down the company. Then we heard SSL manager, the Cross-Kerry, said that no such thing. We hired a reputable trustee. That reputable trustee was supposed to go in, see what can be done, what direction the company needs to go. He used a whole bunch of financial mumbo jumbo, but basically that is what he was supposed to do. However, based on what the finance minister Nigel Clark found out from investigations and auditor, and based on documentations that was filed with the Company of Jamaica, stamp, signed and sealed, there was a request to pretty much close the company. So people, remember, SSL is saying that they hired a reputable trustee to go in, look upon the book, manage their affairs, see what to do, what not to do, what way they can go to make sure that everything is resolved. However, they did not tell us that they were trying to wind up the company. By wind up the company, meaning close down the company, shut down shop. When them shut down shop, all of these persons that have investment stocks and bonds, which I told you before, is pretty much junk bonds. They would lose their money. This company would more than likely file for bankruptcy. When they file for bankruptcy, that is their way of buying time. That is their way of dragging this out in the courts and make sure that people can sue them. So people, remember, SSL, them speak English. FSC, them speak English. The finance minister, them speak English. So therefore, there should be no sorts of loss of communication at worst, even if them attack patois. So therefore, it is fully understood. So therefore, we see that this company, SSL, has been lying through the teeth from day one. They've been trying to throw Jean and Panton under the bus. Not to say that Jean and Panton was an innocent victim by any stretch of the imagination, because she is just as responsible. She is a top thief. The next information, well, not information, but confirmed. It is said that it was actually Jean and Panton that contacted Usain Bolt's management. She told them that, yes, me docked up the paperwork, the statements were not correct. I also took some money from some other clients, maybe the 39 that she confessed to. However, can you help me? Can you give me some money to pay back these purses? People, that is what SSL is saying. So the audacity, if this is even true, of you robbing from Usain Bolt and others, but you're contacting Usain Bolt and asking him to lend you some sort of money for pay by the other victims. However, you did not mention how you're going to borrow money from somebody to pay them back. People me know about taking from Peter for pay Paul, but me never know say you can borrow from Bolt for pay back Bolt. So people, me just show you the madness that is going on. Now, Usain Bolt was not the only one that became suspicious. There was also a next big client that had a statement. When they went to SSL, compared the statement that was sent via email from Ms. Panton and compared it to their actual portfolio, it was night and day. Needless to say, the one that they got from Miss Panton was favorable. The one that they got from their portfolio, which is the actual money, stocks and bonds, funds that they have, was polar different negatively. Now, SSL, it seems, is trying to make it seem as if they don't know anything. They don't know how Miss Jean and Panton, who they are trying to use as a scapegoat for everything, all of these billions and billions of dollars that were stolen from SSL. So people, let's do a common sense test. If me a thief all this money and I divert it to some other sorts of accounts, I would not have any sorts of problem paying back the people because, trust me, how much money you can spend, so there's not enough hours, minutes or seconds in the day for one individual to thief so much money and then pretty much broke like a church mouse. It makes absolutely no sorts of sense. All she would have to do is go back to wherever she put that money and then take it back out and put it back from whence it came. So this tells me is either a couple of things. Is either the people where she send the money to, them take the money and them not give her none. Or better yet, or more practical or rational thinking is that external forces took that money. External forces meaning people with the links, people with the name that can move such amount of money without raising any sorts of red flags. Remember, the experts on all of this is the Cross Carries, the Hardings. They've been doing it for quite some time. They are experts in building companies, shell companies, all sorts of limited liability companies overseas, in a Cayman, in a St. Lucia, Barbados, wherever they want. Them have links all over the place. So therefore, when them transfer X amount of dollars, millions of dollars in US, it would not raise any sorts of red flag, because that is something that they've been doing for the better part of a decade or so. And next thing that the finance minister raised, he said that he needs questions to be answered. How it is that SSL was able to avoid fly stealth under the radar for in excess of 13 years. 13 years starting from 2010. With all the red flags, all the audits, all the drawdown in which the FSC said to them, we need you to show where the money is coming from. We need for you to show us where the money is going, or was going, or went. We need for sure we say you balance the book. So therefore, we should not be skeptical about purses taking their money, innocent victims, investors, putting millions and billions of dollars in your hand when you are not trustworthy. This company, SSL, has not been trustworthy for the longest time. However, they've not been trustworthy, but they've been facilitated. Purses were willing to turn a blind eye. And by purses, I mean purses working with FSC, which is supposed to be the regulatory body. The government, meaning PNP, JLP, finance minister. So therefore, it is like when we listen to the finance minister and him sound so serious that the FBI is here and they've been a part of the investigation for about a week or so. He actually confirmed it. And they said that, meaning the FBI, they are going to intensify their search or investigation. And we also got the services or in contractual agreement with some top forensic auditors from overseas, and everybody is working in coordination or collaboration to get to the bottom of this. However, like SSL, like FSC, like the Prime Minister, like the Finance Minister, everybody is taking themselves out of the responsibility. Nobody is taking accountability for nothing that they have done. But anybody with common sense can see that they are all responsible. They played a very important part with this SSL, scamming, shamming, thieving, taking advantage of, using their trust, reputation to scam the people of Jamaica. Point blank and period. Now, like I said, persons are wondering, is the FBI really here? Was the FBI called by the government of Jamaica? Yes, the FBI are here, and they are here because whenever any sorts of huge amount of money goes through their financial system, meaning that people thief X amount of money and it goes through the United States through any sorts of bank, anything over $10,000, it calls the red flag of the IRS Internal Revenue Service. Once the Internal Revenue Service see some sorts of problem or red flag, they usually contact the FBI. So therefore, once any American investor, customer, client loses any sorts of money in excess of $1 million US, which they did, they can call for the services of the FBI. Now the question we have to ask is this: is this collaboration with Jamaica, FSC, MOCA, Financial Division, is it a joint operation or investigation? Is the FBI leading? Is the FBI just sitting back? The answer to that is very simple. The FBI is not here to do any sort of prosecution job. All they are here to do is to cover their fears, the best interest of the United States. Make sure that their money, US funds, USD, is not used in any sort of illegal form. Now, a very important question that many persons watching the case locally and internationally, they are asking, is why after about 12 to 13, maybe 14 days now, nobody has been charged in this case. None of the Croskery, none of the Harding, none of the Jean and Panton. And lawyers, most experts will tell you that in a complex case, that might be the average thing that happens, the regular thing that happens. However, the fact that this lady gave some sorts of confession, gave a statement to investigators saying that, yes, I stole on several occasions, meaning at least 39 occasions, not including Bowles, $2 billion or so. She signed and she sealed it in front of a JP, in front of the investigators. However, most experts will tell you, what did she sign? Did she sign a caution statement, or did she sign a regular statement saying that she would assist the POPO, the investigators, with the investigation? That is a different thing. Most experts would also say, yeah, but this lady have many victims. At least 2 or so of her victims' clients have come forward and said, yes, she stole this. This is my statement sent from her through email. And this is the actual portfolio statement. When we match these statements, they are not the same. Somebody a lie, somebody a thief. We are victims. Not only once, she confessed to 39 different instances. One person in December of 2022 came up and said, yes, my statement from Ms. Panton and my portfolio statement is conflicting night and day. So why is not Ms. Panton charged as yet? Why nobody? Even if them get questioned, any sort of interview, they are still walking around as if they did nothing wrong. What is the government, what is investigators waiting for? For these people to mysteriously disappear? Are these people to be taken out by the people that they are shielding and defending? Are these people, meaning Jean and Panton, to end up getting some sort of HIT put upon our head? People, me don't know what them are waiting upon. However, believe me, whatever they are waiting for, we are going to see a whole bunch of mysterious, weird things happening in this case. It only starts point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, and sharing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.